My name is Anya Iriarbord. When I first came to America in 1962, newlywed with my loving Ganesh, I came to San Francisco, straight to Broadway to Hotel des Alpes. It was late at night, but the lights on Broadway were bright, all those flashing signs, people walking on the street. Oh my God, so beautiful. I was amazed. At des Alpes was quiet, everybody asleep. So next morning I went down a little after Ganesh. The cooks, Dominique Oscariag and Laura Echeverry, were already at work. Urruti brothers, Petyan and Jean-Baptiste Urruti, having breakfast, shingarta rulse, bacon and eggs. They had 2 mugs in front of them. I said, "What's in there?" And they said, "Coffee." "Coffee? You don't drink wine with the shingarta rulse?" Jean-Baptiste said, "No, in Wyoming, nobody brings wine to the sheep camp. So it's water or coffee, and you get used to it." It was all new to me. I can imagine better a barrel of wine on the table with shingarta rulse. At night, around 7, bunch of young men sat down at the long table for dinner. They were so young, about my age, all in the 20s, all Basque. I quickly met and connected with them. The next day, after early breakfast, they take their lunch box and go to work for gardening. Before I get up even. Myself, I didn't have to go out for work. I had plenty to do at home from day one. Cleaning, making beds for the boarders, and then down the kitchen, preparing salad, dry the dishes, and etc., etc. On Sunday morning, most of them will go to church, and after some drink, all of us sat down for an excellent lunch. It was a real joy to be with so many Basque. Sunday lunch were reserved only for Basque people. I felt like I was in Donibane Garasi, Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, on market day in the Basque country. In the afternoon, they will play moose or go out to meet some other boarders. All the boarders and workers and all of us living under the same roof. It was such a warm family atmosphere. It was so nice, feels so good. From that point, we developed strong friendship forever. Some of them used to tell me their little secrets about their Saturday night out or something else. It was fun to listen to their love stories. However, I was homesick for a while. I missed my family and my friends. A year later, our son Robert was born, very precious. Then my life changed again. It's not easy to raise children in the restaurant, but we made it. A little later, I had my driver license. Oh, what a freedom. No need to depend on Ganesh, so busy all the time. Couple of years later, after I arrived, the Bordalampes retired. Then Ganesh and I took over the business. What now? I don't speak English. When working in the kitchen, workers and boarders all were Basque and we only spoke Basque. So not much opportunity to learn English. I had that book, French English. I was looking into that as much as I could, but that wasn't enough. I blame myself to not try harder. I only knew few words, and now I had to take Katisha's place, face all American people. I didn't understand what they were talking or asking me. I said, I don't speak English. Ah, yeah, no, doing good. And I don't know what they were saying, but American people were so nice and helpful to me. Despite my struggle with the English, I love it. So little by little, something got in my brain. Sometimes there were some incidents in the house, like it was Chinese New Year, Chinatown being one block away, the boys were out there, and one of them came back, some firecrackers got in his eye. I did not know what to do. I took him to the eye clinic. Luckily, that wasn't too serious. Another came home from gardening. He catch the poison oak. I never seen anything like that. His whole body was red, full of blisters, high fever. Ice pack was melting in no time. I don't know why the poor kid wasn't in the hospital in the first place. I felt so sorry and helpless. He was so young, 20, 21 years old. Somehow he survived. We were closed on Monday, so every Monday night, Ganesh and I used to go for dinner either to Pyrenees Hotel, where Amélie, always with her big laugh, welcome everyone, and same as Obrero Hotel, Catherine Goyenech, cooking in that small kitchen for so many boarders. Oh, they were hard workers. There was also the same ambience in both of them, a room full of young boarders. I was lucky. I didn't have to cook, but Ganesh was an excellent cook, and he worked so hard in front of those big stoves under such a pressure, especially on the weekends, for long hours. Among all the boarding houses, 7 of us, Hotel du Midi on Powell Street near Broadway, Hotel España around the corner of Broadway, across the street, Hotel de France, same side in the middle of the block, Hotel des Alpes, on Stockton near Broadway, Obrero Hotel, one block down on Broadway, Pyrenees Hotel, and across the street in the alley, Basque Hotel, all within 2 blocks away, and all of them full of young men, Basque. Left to right is Marie Elou, Hotel España, Juanita Echevers, Hotel de France, Catherine Goyenech, Obrero Hotel, Anya Iriarbord, Hotel des Alpes, Amélie Sorondo, Pyrenees Hotel. Obviously, this picture was taken years later by Gratien Goyenech. He used to call us the Broadway Broads. Amélie Sorondo and Catherine Goyenech were the ones I knew the best at that time. I always admired them. So many times, Amélie, Catherine, and I find each other at the Rossi Market, grocery shopping, carrying those big brown bags full of walk 2.5, 3 blocks. Oof! Soon, those young men start their own gardening business. They learn quick English, I guess. Now they need space for their pickup machine and the necessary tools for their. So they move out, rent a house, 3 or 4 of them together, thinking also preparing their nest to bring wife. After 3 or 4 years, a lot of them went back on vacation and visit the family and came back with a wife. Some others get married here and they all start the family. Soon they were Christianing, First Communion, birthday parties in our restaurants. Most of them were playing pilota, but no proper place to play. Finally, they find one back wall of one building, and with the owner permission, they put extension and give the shape of fronton, painted, and they got their fronton at Ellen Wills Playground on Broadway and Larkin. Tournaments were organized by Francois Vidaurreta and Frédéric Fulden. Now the family are growing, and all our little boys were trained to play pilota at early age. So beautiful to see those young fathers and sons playing. After the game, they all go to Broadway restaurants for lunch. They will bring their wife and children. It was an incredible ambiance. It was one second wave on Broadway. Beside the boarding houses, there were also a lot of activities and entertainment on Broadway. Whole San Francisco nightlife was on Broadway. There were movie theater, bocce ball, opera singer, Finocchio, Sinaloa with the mariachi around the corner, and more. One of the beautiful events was New Year's Eve. Broadway was closed to the cars from bottom to the tunnel. Whole San Francisco was on Broadway, in bars, restaurants, and on the street, singing, dancing. Columbus Avenue, which crossed Broadway, North Beach, all the Italian district there, the accordion was playing full blast, and we were dancing on the street, the waltz, java. At the midnight, everybody greeting, throwing confettis to each other. Few policemen were going up and down on Broadway on horseback, those beautiful horses, all decorated. There was no problem at all. No drunk, no fighting. It was nice and clean. Okay, going back to the Basque. Lots of Basque emigrate in California between mid-1950 and 68. When I came, we were about 20, 25 of us in the same plane. Some others group up to 40 of them. Also, a lot of them came down from shepherding, finally contract-free. In 1968, they closed the quota, the immigration. Only parents, Broadway and sisters could come. In early 70, Broadway changed a lot. In those bars, they started getting topless girls, and about in the same time, no parking allowed on the street until 7 p.m. That hurts a lot the Broadway business. Those good floor shows and entertainments close the doors or move some other place. The boarding houses also were almost empty of Basque. Some of the owners were probably ready to retire, but so they closed one by one. That was the end of that Broadway Basque Street. I miss that Broadway ambiance for a long time. Now all the activities of the Basque, like mousse and pilota tournaments, parties, and New Year's party, all that were made at Notre Dame de Victoire French Church Hall. Then, 2-3 years later, the Basque Cultural Center was born. What a joy to see again all those Basques with their children, small, teen, and 20s by then, 2 full generations, now forming even bigger family gathering for so many wonderful occasions. Also, the Broadway's lots of non-Basque former costumers were coming. It was a great feeling. Since then, I always enjoy every moment I spend over there. Now, a new story had started.